Hey Pearl, how are you? Hello little Buckeye. Hey Chow. Pearly girl, what are you doing? You want me to talk about what's going on here, or you want to try and eat the freckles? Okay, let me flip the camera around. Hey everybody, good afternoon. Today is the day after Christmas, Saturday, December 26th. This is Ben Capozzi with Broad Shoulders Farm. And, Virginia, Zone 7. And let me talk a little bit about winter quarters for my main laying flock. It's kind of interesting. You may find it interesting what I'm working on here. And it's a bit of an experiment, so we'll do this here at the beginning and see how it pans out. Let me flip the camera around and I'll talk about it. So, my main laying flocks, all three of them, used to be over there where you still see that chickshaw and the electronet fencing beyond my geese, who are out free ranging in the orchard. And the way I've worked up my rotation system here in the third year of doing this is, this continues to evolve. If you pay attention or followed in my previous videos, I've now got different monthly paddocks. So what you're looking at is November and December paddock over there. My rotation plan includes 2 months, our two coldest months of the year, January and February, in what I'm calling winter quarters. The rest of the months, the birds are moving around in their chickshaws, spending about 30 days or so in each of the different paddocks that I've got here. I've got it marked out to 4. But winter quarters is this area behind me. So I'll flip the camera around. Winter quarters is this big area here. It's about 40 by 120, 115 or so. And it's dominated by this massive Japanese honeysuckle patch. Believe it or not, there are a few grapevine trellises in there. I'll show those as we do our little walk around. That they're upset about something. Where you girls going? That my wife's grandfather Ralph planted. They've all just been completely overgrown, and there's junk trees you can see in there. I think there's some hackberry there. There's a volunteer, either a pecan or a walnut, which is certainly not a junk tree, but there's no plan for it. They just kind of added by the squirrels. There may be some sumac in there, I'm not sure, but I have been treating it like a brush pile because my plan was to fence it all in, which I've done with help from my wife. Fence it all in and then burn it all off. I thought burning would be the best way just to reduce all of this mass down to something a lot more manageable. I've already got the fencing up, so I can't bring in the bobcat or my father-in-law has a big, I don't even know what you call it. When I was a kid, the Transformer was named Scavenger, but it's got a giant bucket and a scoop. I'm drawing a blank, but anyhow, he's got a few big pieces of earth-moving equipment. But I didn't want to bring that in and ruin all this, because what I want to do is turn this into a dual-purpose area. It's winter quarters in January and February for my main laying flocks, and they come in and they poop it all up over the course of the winter, adding lots and lots of fertility, lots and lots of nitrogen in their manure. And then this becomes the pumpkin and melon patch for the market garden during the rest of the year, which is great because those are very heavy feeders. Those annual vegetables require or benefit from a lot of nitrogen. And so I was like, oh, this will be perfect. Well, the fall got away from me, and here we are already in winter. It's, 2 days after Christmas, or the day after Christmas. And I just didn't have time to burn this off. It kept raining. And I really needed to get the birds out of their previous spot because they had been over there, and it's a big area. I mean, it's quite large. It's like 3 electronet fences make up the perimeter, but they'd been there since August 18th. So it was well past time for them to move. I didn't want to do one move and then move them again. So I just said, you know what? Let's try this. Hey, Dork. Dork's been with me from the beginning. Love that guy. So I said, let's let the chickens in here and let them go to town, knocking all this down to the best of their ability. On Wednesday, the 22nd, my wife and I put up all the fencing. I'd already driven the T-posts, actually with help from some friends of the farm as well, over the course of the summer and fall. So the T-posts were already in the ground. This plan was already set. We just needed to get the fencing done. So we got the fencing up, we moved the birds over. But before I decided, yes, let's go ahead and move them over without burning this, I had already seen our ducks when they come out and started free ranging around the orchard for weeks now, coming over here, going in here and fiddling around. They may even have a nest in there. They don't anymore. There's still 3 or 4 little ducks that come out every day now and like, come on, let us in. They can't get in anymore. But the ducks were in here. Then I saw the geese coming in and nibbling around and doing stuff. It's mating season and the geese have already started laying eggs, so they might have been interested in this for a spot for themselves as well. And I've also been seeing rabbits in here. At dawn and at dusk when I'm out here early in the day or late at night getting ready to put everybody, well, early in the night getting ready to put everybody to bed, I've seen rabbits coming and going from this little hedgerow, this overgrown brush pile, which made me feel safe to go ahead and lock the birds in here, because I can't imagine that the geese and the ducks coming in here throughout most of the day and rabbits ranging freely in here would be visiting a place that has some larger predators. My fear, of course, was, my God, I can't fence in, you know, my teammates here with something that's going to kill them, you know, for fear that there's a possum or some kind of den or something in here. So based on the previous evidence of the ducks' activity in here and the rabbits, I've made the call that I'm going to assume this is a safe place. They've been in here 4 days now. We finished the fencing and moved them in on Wednesday the 22nd. So it's now the 26th. So they've been in here for 4 days. We just had yesterday was the coldest day of the year so far here in our part of Virginia. Temperature last night I think got down to like 18 or 19. But it's back up today. Like, I'm out here, I don't have a hat on, I'm in a hoodie. I mean, it's chilly, but it's not brutal. I think it's probably mid 30s to approaching 40. As long as you're in the sun, it's totally fine. It's quite nice. Hi, babies. So I forgot what I was talking about the weather. Oh, so some of the vegetation is already dying back a bit. Like, it just looks a little thinner to me. And I'm sure part of that is the weather, but I know part of it is also the fact that these chickens are now working in here not 24/7. You know, they're out early in the day and they head to bed at dusk. But they are in here working, and they're not just working over here. I mean, you can see the part of the pasture here is already kind of beaten down, and that's great. But what they're really doing is they're going in here. You can tell that I've been treating this like it was going to be a burn pile for a while, and I may still burn all this off. Once I move the chickens out in February, I may burn all of this, because eventually what I want to do is, like I said, turn into the annual gardening patch. So I'm going to need the annual vegetables patch for melons, squash, and all that stuff. So I'm going to need to till it all. And this Japanese honeysuckle has been here for years, if not decades. Grandfather Ralph died in the mid to late 90s. And his garden and all this orchard has just been completely ignored since then. So it's all overrun. You know, part of what I'm doing here is restoring the orchard, making it even better than it was to begin with an eye towards a food forest that's going to feed the poultry and the people. So that's what we're working on. So I may still burn all this off. So there's definitely lots of brush in here. There's definitely lots of trees and bushes and such that we've cleared off that we just tossed in here. There's even some like rotten 2x4s and lumber and stuff that we found. I know it's all in here, but what I also know is that these wonderful chickens are in here working around. I can see a fluffy little butt in there. I don't know if the camera can catch it, but they're in here knocking stuff down, which is great. There's wild raspberry here, raspberries all over the farm, and this Japanese honeysuckle. I had to do some research to make sure that I wasn't going to lock my birds in with something that was going to kill them. But wild birds eat the berries, and the greenery is not going to kill my birds. There are some types of honeysuckle that are not great and that are toxic, but to the best of my ability during my research, and I hope I'm not wrong, this is not that type. In fact, I read stories of people talking about how they would put their chickens in different parts of their yard every year to knock back a honeysuckle patch for kind of this very purpose. So I feel like I'm on the right track. But again, just looking at this, I can already tell that they're starting to make little paths in here, little trails. They're already starting to beat this stuff down. Hey, Fletcher. I mean, which is fantastic. Now, are they going to take out these bramble canes? Are they going to take out, you know, these big, thicker cords even? Some of this stuff of Japanese honeysuckle over the course of the summer? Are they going to undo this tangle? No, of course they're not going to undo that. But what they are going to do is clear the heck out of all this space. And in fact, maybe what I'll do is towards the end here, we're going to head over there, because over there used to look exactly like this, almost exactly like this. And the chickens being there for 3 months really did a number. So we'll talk about that. Hi, Pearl. Look at them enjoying the sun. Love these kiddos. Hi. Hey, Johan. But again, they're already working their way here into the undergrowth. They're already starting to clear it out. I can tell it's not just the cold weather that is making all of this stuff seem less dense. So this is great. If they can come in here and just add tons and tons of manure, probably not literal tons, but certainly a lot of manure over the course of these next 2 months, they'll be safe in here. God, I hope they're gonna be safe. But they're gonna do a great job. I'll move them out in March. They'll go to the March, July, and November is the first paddock. And then they'll move to the April, sorry. Gosh, I got too many things on, I'm so distracted. But, so March, April, May, June, July, August. So the April, August, and December patch. And then past the rooster run over there is the March, April, May is the May, September patch. That patch only gets 2 rotations. And then down on the other side of all this, which talked about in other videos, is the June and October patch. So, so in general, I'm pretty pleased with what's going on. Hi, ladies. I'm gonna grab this. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Lovely olive egg there. Actually put it. Sorry. Hi, Wheezies. Hi. So that is the plan. That's how we're proceeding. So let's see what they can do. Hopefully, when we look at this spot again in a few months, and especially by the time we roll around next summer, next spring and summer, I hope that this area will be completely transformed in a very positive and impressive way. And I hope it'll further convince you that chickens really are fantastic farm partners. And you guys too, and the geese. There's Ryan Gosling. Again, if you follow my videos, Ryan is a runt. She stayed little forever compared to her shipmates. But she's doing great now. Or he, not sure about this X. But anyhow, still doing well. Speaking of winter quarters, this over here is the Merrick's flock. This is their accommodations. And maybe I'll do another video, a separate video about them, an update on what's going on with the Merrick's flock. But they're nearby here. Hi, Elle. Whoop. Fighting for dominance. The ladies do it too. All right. Squeaking bird. She makes the weirdest little, like a air escaping from a balloon. Hey, Boudreaux, how you doing? All right, I'm gonna get back to work. I got trees to plant, trees to mulch, but wanted to take a moment and share with you what's going on here. All right, talk to y'all later. As always, questions, concerns, comments, helpful critique, always welcome. Just a bantam run there. The new ICU under construction. All right, wherever you are, I hope that you are staying safe and well, and please keep that up. And I hope you've had a very Merry Christmas and you're enjoying a great holiday. Take care. Bye-bye. All right, everyone. So real quick, just wanted to show you how much clearing the chickens and the chickens alone can do. Now, of course, I've cut a bunch of these branches off here as I'm starting to clean up this autumn olive bush, but all of this was covered in raspberries and Japanese honeysuckle. And if you go back and look in my videos from the summer or any time around or before, like August 18th or so, you'll see that what that looked like when I moved the flocks in here. And now granted, they were here for a long time, much longer than I intended, but I mean, they really cleared all this out. Now, is all the honeysuckle dead and gone? No. Is it much more manageable? Absolutely. I can come in now, I can find the feeder roots and everything, the source of them all. I can come in here and cut that and work on knocking all this back. But I mean, they really kind of cleared all this and took it back to where it looks like the surface of the moon here. It's much easier for me to manage. I mean, I used to wade through here and all these raspberry canes and get like stuck on them and all that, but I mean, the chickens and the chickens alone have just brought it all down to where it's much more manageable, and it's just going to continue to get better. So if they can do something similar to this over in the in the big patch, it's gonna be awesome. It's going to be awesome. All right, take care.